So I want to take a moment to go, a little bit back, and I see some pictures of your parents here
Okay.
that you shared on Instagram. This one was time flies. This was 6 years ago, 7 years ago already.
Yes, it
Um,
doesn't even feel that long ago.
yeah. So they've been here 27 years, and I see you, sharing that they came here. That was like a 20th anniversary. But like with a lot of pride and a lot of, I guess, gratitude, and then it seems like you love them a lot. So they seem loving too. So I wanted to, um, I guess I'm technically an immigrant too. Like my wife is the one from here, and we ended up staying here because of my illness. But I kind of understand my journey as an immigrant and stuff. So I wanted to understand why, yeah, like what do these pictures make you feel, and why is it important, especially in the days we're living now? Like
Hmm.
it's a sad thing you talk about, but it's still a reality we live in the US. So how yeah, well, what are those two elements? Like, what does it mean when you see some of these old pictures? I'm sure parents will share to themselves, but also, what does it mean for you to be like a son of an immigrant going through all of this? And what are like, what do you hope become different, with time? As you're American, so as you progress in life this side.
Yeah, so these pictures were taken in the mid 90s, so before I was born. This is in the refugee camps in Bosnia and Croatia.
Yeah.
Mainly, this was due right after the conflicts, the Yugoslav conflicts.
Hmm.
Uh, and so on the pictures, you can see uh, like little drawings on the side of the tents.
Yeah.
And so I can't remember who drew, but uh, someone drew, drawings. That those were entertainments, really. That's how
Hmm.
you brought life into a point in time that was very low. That you're going through a lot. You had nothing there. You're you're scavenging for food, and you're moving from camp to camp, and it's just hard.
Yeah.
And my parents underwent that, and all my family as well, cousins and relatives all underwent certain things, and that kind of just brings like a sense of like gratitude. You have a sense of I'm not really sure how to really put it into words, but like
It sounds heavy.
yeah, it's you owe it all to them really, because they went through something that others have gone through as well, but it's your family, your parents,
Yeah.
and it kind of just is the foundation for your own life. They
Yeah.
came to this country with nothing, not knowing any English, not knowing anything about where they're going. They just knew that they got a one-way ticket to a new life, away from war and away from you know the other disparities that were happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And pretty much them coming to America is the foundation to allow me to be who I am today.
Yeah.
It's not the health issues that came later in life. No one knew about that. That just happened.
Yeah.
But to come to America and provide for your family, because I was born in '97, so just uh, less than a year when they came to the U.S. and I consider myself a welcome to America baby, because I feel like that 9 month span, that's when it happened. But they set the foundation, and their work ethic, their devotion to wanting to live a better life and progress forward with the future. I mean, it's just unbeatable. The work ethic is, I think, what got instilled into me at a young age, and I'm fortunate to have parents who instilled that into me, and I got to see that as a young age, even though I was spoiled or whatever because I was their only child for first 11 years, but it's because they wanted the best for me.
Yeah.
What they didn't have as kids, they wanted to provide that for me and my brother
Yeah.
as as kids and as we got older. And I'm thankful for them. I'm grateful for everything that they've gone through, what they had to endure. It's not easy. It's never going to be easy,
Hmm.
but the minute you keep going forward and not stop,
Yeah.
that's when life starts getting easier.
I love it. And I'm sure they're super proud of you and your brother. They have to be. You just beat heart. Well, you're beating heart disease, so
Yes.
that's a big feat. It's amazing what what you're sharing, and like I was like I mean, I was academic and everything, but I was very into the news, like world news. So I follow the story from a distance, right? On TV or whatever was that. But it's different when you meet somebody that's really been through it.
Hmm.
Soccer helps a lot because you get to see football. You get to see different side and you see the pride side. But there was so much behind it, and I was yeah. So I'm glad you shared this, and I'm really nice to meet you, and and this part of the story, which I didn't know about. So but like you said, you prevailed and you're prevailing somehow, and that's very inspiring. It's a strong
Hmm.
motivation. I'm gonna pick one or two more
Sure, sure.
um, pictures from your fun stories. I really find your page super interesting and very very yeah, very interesting. So let me start with this one, for instance. And I was wondering what would be the context, but you did mention that you did martial art when you were, for a while. So
Hmm.
we see some feet, some foot in the air here, and then of course, you had to make sure that it wasn't it wasn't some Photoshop. But I also like the background. It is very cool. So tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, so I did martial arts for about 5 years. It was one of my favorite sports I did. And this is actually in Velika Kladuša in Bosnia. So this is, uh, we're around one of the highest peaks next to like one of the antenna towers.
Yeah,
Uh, and there's just an open field, and I saw the view in the back, and I was like, oh, let me just see. And I started photography back in 2014 when I was a junior in high school, and just wanted to mess around with a lot of stuff.
yeah,
But at this point, I was kind of taking pictures of my cousins, making like a little silhouette photo because they just got married and just want to do a little thing for them.
yeah,
And uh, I asked my cousin to take a picture of me, and I was like, oh, maybe I can do a little nice little martial arts kick. So I tried to do I think I tried doing like a roundhouse kick.
yeah,
I can't remember what I was trying to do back then. Yeah, my hashtag says roundhouse, so yes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's not the best photo because my hands open. I don't have the closed fist.
Most people don't. Most people won't notice, and
Yeah,
you can have your hands open too, like when it's just
yes.
demonstrating, which is a bad habit. I tell my son, but one day
I mean,
he's gonna find out.
I was trained to always have my stance at a certain angle.
Yeah,
Like your feet are supposed to be a certain angle, but I had my own style of stance. I liked Jean-Claude Van Damme, and so I grew up with him. I watched his Bloodsport on VHS.
yeah,
I grew up with that, and so his style of fighting. I always watched UFC when I was training in MMA, Kempo karate, and I always watched like UFC. I watched different stances, and so I kind of took little bits of information from them
yeah,
and incorporated into my style. And so when I was sparring or grappling, I used that type of style.
yeah,
And so I think this is just one of those pictures that a nice background, and why not just throw up a kick
yeah,
and go from there. And my cousin's actually very good with the camera, so he snapped a good photo, and
yeah.
uh,
It's very
that
good.
turned
Like
out.
it's funny, it's like beautiful background in doing your thing, but it's nice how everything blends in together somehow.
Yes.
And if if you hadn't mentioned, I wasn't even gonna worry about the hand open, but you got everything. I mean, you turning, twisting your leg, foot going backward, so it's a good
Hmm.
position. Don't be hard on
Yes.
yourself. Yeah.
Just gotta snap the leg a little bit better, and
But you got it. This is
but that's a good photo. A good photo.
you
Yes.
probably only took one take, so maybe more
Probably.
takes.
I can't recall too much, but
Yeah.
yes, probably one take was enough.
No, this is super cool. We're gonna take you. Yeah, so we're talking about Grey's Anatomy. So that's the next one here. And I was even explaining to some people, talking about, like, look at the Elvad wire. You watch this thing, you don't know. So, when was this, and which procedure was this one?
So this is actually in Colorado. This is at the clinic.
Yeah.
And so I'm there for 7 hours. And so I have nothing else to do. I'm literally on my phone. I'm charging my phone. I'm just scrolling and taking pictures of Snapchat or whatever. And yeah, it's perfect time to watch some Grey's Anatomy. And on this week's episode, we're doing this.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, in my case, I like the early ones, the early seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like, I'm thinking I might go back to do at least season 1, season 2, and see from there. And I know where they talk about the Elvad is it's season 2, I think episode 26. I might be correct.
Yes, Danny's Elvad, where they cut the wire, and I watched the Grey's Anatomy in 2016 before all this happened,
Yes.
and after I get the Elvad, I'm like, oh wow, she cut the wire. Now I know what the wire meant, because you die essentially. If you don't get assisted surgery right away, you die. Because it's rotating, and if it stops, you're done.
Yeah. No, I was telling, with a new one now, you might not die right away, but it's definitely not good news. They had me today, but we were joking with the nurses, and they're like, "Please don't even think about it." And I got my mother-in-law a T-shirt that says, "I cut the Elvad wire," but it wasn't a joke to the nurses. It's definitely but it's, you gotta laugh about it. I'm like, I already have had disease. Why not?
Yes.
And who are we looking at here?
So this is my mom.
Yes.
This is for International Women's Day. I posted a picture.
Yeah.
This is when we were in Bosnia. This is the summer trip we took right before I had my ICD or pacemaker implanted.
Oh yeah.
And so I snapped a good photo of her. She wasn't expecting it, so it's kind of off guard.
Yeah, but she's still beautiful. It's natural. Yeah, that's so cool. So she's like she's like the MVP on that group.
Yeah. Yep, she's my rock, and
That's
so
your rock. There you go. Yeah, and then this is you and one of your buddies or friends.
Yes, this is my best friend Aladdin.
Yeah.
So we kind of made a pact together. April 6th, as you see on the photo right there.
Yeah.
April 8th or 6th.
This is 8th. Yeah.
8th. So this is when I had my ICD pacemaker. So
yeah.
He ends up visiting me in the hospital, brings me, I think, some Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, and we end up just, having some fun.
Yeah.
And you can see I have the patch from where the ICD was. Yeah. And so we called this day Armin and Aladdin's Day because in 2018, he visited me in the hospital as well when I had the transplant.
Okay.
And so I was like, yo, dude, why you keep visiting me on the days I keep on having surgery? And so it's like, it was like, it was bound to happen. He had no clue. I had no clue. My mom is the one who brings it up because it was on the memories on Facebook.
Wow. Yeah.
And so we just create a day for ourselves. And so we call, this day our day. And this is my best friend, really.
So how do you guys celebrate?
Honestly, for the past couple of years, it's just been through like FaceTime. So can't do much anything else, but
you gotta make it happen sometimes. So let me see. There's so many good options here. I want to see. Like I say, your page is super nice. All right, let's do this one. That makes sense. I think I want to do your dad and your brother next.
Sure thing. So this is my dad. You can see where my hairstyle comes from. So
you still got it. You still got it. Yeah, that's so cool. And then this was on Father's Day.
Yes.
Yes. And then you say, can't wait to be back. So were you you were at the hospital when you posted it?
Let's see. This was back. So this is right after my LVAD. So this is when I had the LVAD. Mm-hmm. And so I posted because I remember this day vividly. I wanted to be home for Father's Day because I missed him so much. I haven't seen him he always visits me every couple of days. So he would drive, almost 2 hours there and back. And so that's 4-hour trip right after picking my brother from school and coming back home from work. And so he'd come to visit us. It was probably around, I'd say, 4 o'clock, and he stayed and then went back and got home around 9 o'clock at night. Wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock, go back to work, and kind of repeat everything every couple of days or so.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, he was coming every once a week,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what day that was. I think that was either a Friday or Saturday, and I missed him so much that we just were FaceTiming at that point. That I just couldn't wait to be back home, because even though my mom was there, it's like I'm not complete with my whole family. It's
Yeah.
not
It's not
everyone
the
is
same.
fully there.
Yeah. That's amazing, and it's and it's glad that you get to have this bond with your dad. Because yeah, I cannot imagine what is it for the parents, to go through
Hmm.
this moment and not be not be able to be there all the time. I see you with the Elva here. I want to get one with your brother, and I think I saw one. Yeah, is that him over
No,
here?
that's my cousin.
That's your cousin here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's two of them.
Yep. Two of my
Is
cousins.
two of the cousins. That's amazing, and they all came to the hospital. So you were probably sleeping here, right?
Yes, this is the LVET. So yes,
Yeah,
my cousin, he on the in the white in
blue.
the blue shirt.
Yeah,
He just got back. I think was it from Missouri or Minnesota. He was working, and he heard that I was in the hospital,
yeah.
and he's the one who actually helped me set up a GoFundMe account.
Oh yes,
And so
yes.
he's phenomenal for doing that. It assisted me, help pay the bills.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then
It adds up, and then I think the insurance
my
situation is also different. Yeah,
yes, and then my other cousin right there. He's one of my best cousins.
yeah,
He's I don't know where I'll be without him. He's like my second brother. He's
yeah.
second father almost. I guess you can say he's
Oh wow,
that person. He's my best cousin, favorite cousin.
I
I know my
love it.
cousins are probably watching this probably now, and they're like, "Oh, I thought I was your favorite." No, he's my first.
No, it depends on the situation. It might
Yeah, it's another
change.
situation, but he's amazing. He's helped me. He taught me so much, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. I'm yeah. So tell me about this one. Who's in this picture? I'm going too fast. So who's in this picture?
So this is actually this picture is some of my friends. This is at their graduation party.
Yeah,
So it's one of the first days I felt alive, essentially,
yeah,
to
yeah.
actually go and actually be apart with people.
Wow.
So this was, I think, in June or
Yeah,
July
July.
after.
Yeah.
So this is right after the LVAD, and
Oh my
so
God. Yeah,
I
you were there with
went.
all the towels and the
Yep. So
chains. I
the
see the
so obviously
doctor.
the medical chain. The towel was there because the strap was irritating my skin. I was getting like burns almost
Yeah,
from it.
yeah. Yeah, in the early days. Those are the things I was dealing with, like adjusting to all the equipment. And I remember, yeah, I would react to the band-aid. I would react to a lot of these things, and I just didn't like it. Like the tape that we use with the VAD, the
Hmm.
dressing, I had to change that. So it was definitely a lot. But eventually, I'm assuming you got like some solutions and stuff.
Yeah. So mainly, I found out the towel helped well, and then during my stay when I was actually in the hospital when I got the PICC line, I met another LVAD patient,
Yeah.
and his I think his aunt made him a personalized vest.
Yes.
So he didn't have to carry his back or backpack anymore.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
pretty much had it on his body.
Yeah.
So uh, I asked his aunt if she can make me one, and so I ended up putting my controllers in my pockets here,
Yeah.
zip it up. I was free.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt so free. It's like all the weight I'm carrying from one side, all on my chest now,
Yeah.
or on the sides,
Yeah.
and so it was very beneficial. And that's what pretty much was my main go to for the next couple of months was wearing
Yeah.
that vest.
Yeah, I love it. I totally went to the vest early on, and then I'll either wear the vest or I'll wear the holster bag, like holster style.
Hmm.
I didn't do the messenger bag. I use that bag as my backpack and put that as my backup, and then put that in my
Hmm.
backpack. But it was very important to be mobile to the point that I will I wouldn't feel the extra weight. So that was very important, and so I was able to get a bit active after that. So
Hmm.
that I remember very well, and it wasn't. It was so much different. I couldn't wear the proper fitting clothes. Like I had to be straight cuts.
Hmm.
So one thing I did after my transplant, I came in, all those clothes I couldn't wear. I tried them on to see whichever fit. And my wife is like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "You have no idea." And so I
Yes.
wanted to do that, and I wanted to shower. It was like free
Yes.
out of free of wires. But
Yeah. It's it's the little things we take for granted in
yeah,
life, and I know I took life for granted when I was younger because I didn't know that I can die. That life can be ended in the snap of a finger.
yeah. I mean,
You
not
know,
now, right? Like
not now,
it's
but with the LVAD, when I didn't know that, I took life for granted. I was rebellious. I wanted to do stuff. I wanted to travel and do all other things,
yeah,
but I didn't know how crucial life was truly, how life truly was, and
yeah,
how fast it can be ended in the snap of a finger.
yeah, yeah,
And obviously, getting home after transplant, showering, put on your new clothes, it's amazing. I think I spent like 30 minutes just taking my first shower at home. And it's like no more shower bags, no more saran wraps,
yes,
nothing. It's
yes.
amazing.
Oh my God.
And
But
so
it's a life changing, life
yeah,
a
it's
totally different life. I'm assuming this is your brother.
yes, that's my brother. That's how young he was. So you can
Yeah,
he's now about my height almost.
yeah, yeah. I could assume because if this was, what is it, 3 years ago or
Yeah,
what?
so this is
5 years ago.
2018. Yeah,
5 years.
5 years
Wow.
ago almost.
Yeah. So it's
And so
probably
this is
caught up.
April 10th. So this April 10th, I was still in the hospital at this time.
Yeah,
And it was a National Sibling Day, so I posted a picture, and you can see my monitor
yeah.
from
The
wearing.
telemetry thing. Yeah.
Yep. And so
Wow.
what's kind of awesome is 2 days after this is when I went back home. So
Oh,
April 12th is when I came back home,
yeah, yeah.
and I was definitely good to be back and good to be back home, and you know
So it's probably asking you when you're coming back. When you're coming back.
either that or can I play this game when you're not here?
I love their focus. I love their focus. And their coping mechanisms. It's just
Hmm.
it's special.